there are very few artists that I would consider like gods of the industry. Jack Kirby being one of them, Steve Ditko being one of them, Barry Windsor Smith, John Buscema. I mean, the list goes on, but man, Otomo is definitely one of those guys that is godlike in this industry. I hate calling it industry. I should call it an art form. But man, I'm so happy that I'm slowly picking up these Otomo complete works as they're coming out. I haven't gotten every single one of them that's come out because they're quite difficult because you have to order them off of Amazon Japan. They're very, I mean, you can get them in the States from sellers here, but they charge you pretty much what the same price would be to get it delivered from Japan. So I get them from Amazon Japan usually. There's other sites that sell them when they're in stock. But I'm really digging these. The one thing I will say is I'm not a big fan of these covers, these like weird vinyl covers. And they have the same problem that every freaking manga book has. They open like absolute dog shit. They're so tight, the binding on it. And it's just like, see, that's something we here in America, we figured out in the comic book industries. We figured out how to put a fucking book out so you can open it. I'd get one of my omnibuses if I could, but I'm too lazy to go get it right now. But man, those things open with an eye, and they're sewed, and they're beautiful. And for the amount of money you're paying for these comic books, man, I do wish that Japan would put the same love into putting these. I mean, this is a cool idea with the vinyl thing, but can I open the fucking thing? It would be great. But anyways, I'm going to stop bitching. Otomo is a brilliant, genius artist, and we're going to take a look at the Complete Works Volume 2. I have no idea when this comic book came out, if it came out before Akira or after Akira. I'm assuming it came out before Akira. But man, you got stuff like Domu. I have the Domu book as well. I'm not rebuying Akira, so fuck that. I will definitely be skipping those. And I think that if you get all of them, you get like these little slips. I have no idea what you're going to get. Maybe Otomo will send you his own original artwork. I don't know. But I'm not doing it for the collecting purpose. I'm doing it because I love owning Otomo stuff because I think Otomo is just a brilliant artist. So let's take a look at it. I have no idea what the story is because I don't read Japanese, and it has not been, to my knowledge, printed in the United States. So one of the things I will say, as much as I don't like the way that the spine is so tight, the paper is unbelievably beautiful. It's definitely that glossy shit, which I can't stand, but it's kind of like a lighter glossy to it. Maybe because it's lacking color that the light doesn't pick it up as much, but it feels kind of glossy, but also kind of, it's like an in between like newsprint and glossy. So I definitely will say with this cover and stuff, they probably put a little bit of money into making it, but we're not talking about the making of the book. We are talking about Otomo. Basically, my review is, if you have the money and you're a big Otomo fan, maybe get like one or two. You don't need all of them, like a psychopath like me. But anyways, man, brilliant work from Otomo here. Doing the thing that I love when an artist does is drawing the mundane and doing it so beautifully. I mean, look at that. Look at what he's doing there. Very simplistic white background, and just using that zipatone to kind of speak for that shadow in the background. That is such a genius thing right there. Such a subtle genius thing, and definitely taken from movies. Definitely a movie fan for sure. And stolen directly from some movie. I don't know what movie. Probably multiple movies, but very cool idea there. Just like this simplistic beauty that he's putting into this work. Man, I love Otomo. I think Otomo, he's the master of mundane. He could draw somebody fucking going to get a croissant at a restaurant, and it would look interesting, but he also has this amazing mind where he could also draw the complex so beautifully. And the other thing that I do really love about Otomo is he rewards you for kind of reading his work. He does a lot of mundane stuff sometimes, and then you get this beautiful, just amazing experience at the end, and you just feel so fulfilled. And I wish more of his work was printed here in the States. It's an absolute fucking shame that it is not. Doing some beautiful stuff here. Like, look at this realistic style that he's doing. Man, just what an artist. Doing interesting things like, weird perspective Dutch angles, working with the composition serving the story, but also doing beautiful work from the standpoint of an artist. Just, yeah. I mean, I love the mark making he's doing there. Just one of my favorite artists. And I just, he gets overshadowed for me by the artists that we have here in America. I mean, I love Otomo as much as I love Barry Windsor Smith or John Buscema? Probably, but in a different way. I think he's more cinematic in the sense that, like, again, you can give him the most boring script in the world and he will just make beautiful artwork and do cool stuff like this, like just kind of taking bits and pieces and kind of pasting them on for the sake of artistic brilliance. I mean, look at that right there. I mean, that's something that you would put in your house or something that you would frame in a museum if art was still legitimate. You know, it's just brilliant. I mean, simplicity is sort of the name of the game for him. I'm assuming that's a paste up there, but that's fine. You know, they're working on a timeline, very short timeline, but I'm assuming they are. And man, I mean, look at this fucking panel here. Wow. Such an I mean, just the expressions, the real. It feels like if you took like not like a photograph, but like it like it's that weird mixture of like reality and art. Like there's like a caricature feel to it, but a realism feel to it. And just when you look at this kind of stuff, you can see how far, like how his ability he can stretch his ability literally as far as you can. I mean, he is not holding back. Like there is not a single panel on this in this book. I guarantee you that Otomo was just kind of like, I'm going to fudge this and I don't give a shit today. I'm just going to kind of, get through today. He's doing some brilliant, brilliant work here. Again, using that very simplistic, doing like, figures over here in the corner, and that white is taking up that large portion of that panel. I love this because the proportions are way off, but I only noticed that because, I'm an artist, I'm an artiste, but he doesn't care about the proportion. And I don't care about it really either. I just pointed it out because I noticed it, but man, really beautiful work here. I mean, I love that how you have this face of this woman and there's just like there's detail, but there's no detail to kind of identify the person. I don't know if it's like a horror story or horror element, but man, again, another thing that looks like a paste up, another paste up. He would go on to doing all of this stuff himself, obviously, and doing these amazing backgrounds and brilliant perspectives. I mean, obviously, he drew that, I'm assuming. But yeah. Again, very simplistic here. Totally reads beautifully. You're never confused, I'm assuming. I mean, I'm not reading the story, but it looks like it reads like a story that flows very nicely. I get the message of what he's trying to do here. Again, I love that patchwork there. How he's kind of feathering some of that stuff. Man, really, really just absurd choices that just you don't even question it because it's Tomo. I mean, stuff like that. Look how beautiful that is. It's just, I mean, look at that composition there. Man. Very cinematic. of how he does like the panel cut there as it's going into the other panel. Man, being very creative, being very experimental, and kind of trying to find out where he's going, where he would go in the future. I'm assuming this is before Akira. And yeah, just genius. Genius work. His anatomy's spot on too. I love what he does with his anatomy. You very rarely see like an Otomo. I mean, I guess you see it in Akira, but you know, mostly they're usually wearing like a lot of, you know, baggy clothing or something like that. You very rarely see kind of his anatomy. I mean, the clothes are kind of are thought of, I guess, as he's drawing, and when you see his anatomy, like the actual skin anatomy, it's genius. Man, what an amazing artist. I really do wish that somebody would print it. I don't know why they're not printing this stuff here, especially with, I mean, with the amount of manga that sells now. Why are we sort of leaving Otomo? Maybe it's Otomo's choice not to print it here, but man, I can't see why somebody would not want to print this here. This stuff would sell so fast. I'm just kind of skipping pages now, but man, just what a brilliant artist at this point and doing some great work. And it's so like everyday mundane shit mixed in with like this horror element. And you gotta admire him for doing that. I mean, like, man, look at that truck there. He's like drawing like somebody who draws like mechanical shit, you know? I forget what it's called. There's terminology, but he's drawing like, I mean, he is drawing this shit and these bikes and man. Wow. I mean, look at this stuff. Whoa. Wow. All I can say is wow and whoa, man, because he is just a genius. I mean, even the way he draws like a corner store and stuff like that. I mean, he's wow. I can't even tell. Maybe I'm wrong about some of that stuff being paste ups. Maybe he is actually drawing that stuff. I don't know. And his inking is just, I mean, he doesn't care about, look at that right there. He doesn't care about just throwing ink right on the page. And a lot of zips, I mean, that's like, what, like 99% zip tone there? Man, I love his art. I am just amazed whenever I look at his stuff. I mean, it really is just next level. And I say this about Tim Vigil. It's the same with Otomo. This is a guy who knew what he wanted to do, sacrificed everything he possibly could to do it, and just gave it his all, and never at any point was like, I'm going to phone it in today, you know? And I love how he switches like to this very realistic stuff, and then sometimes it's cartoony, and I don't know if it's intentional. I mean, look at that. Or if it's a way he's telling the story, because it's not in fucking English, which I wish it was. I'm too lazy to Google Translate everything, but man, it's just like, look at that right there. I mean, again, like I said earlier, that's just something that you could you could sell prints of that stuff. It's genius. I mean, all the way from like just drawing the boots and the clothing and how well you see that clothing on the body just kind of flow on the body. It's absolutely genius. Brilliant work. Man. Wow. It's really sad too that like his most popular thing is Akira, and like this stuff kind of gets overshadowed by it. And I don't know if it's, I don't know why. I would love to know why his stuff does not get printed here in the States, because, you know, and I know he's a big like Mobius guy. Like, does his stuff get printed in like France and Europe? You know, man. And this looks like some weird, bizarre shit. Like, not your normal. I mean, a bunch of fucking psychos, it looks like, man. Just, I mean, look at that. Look at that panel there. I mean, just something so simple as a hallway. And then, like, as he's walking down the hallway, it's just, man. He's definitely, I mean, you definitely see the Mobius inspiration for sure in his work. For sure. Man. Again, he goes back to that realistic style. His pen work, man, just like such confidence in his inking ability. I'm assuming he's using heavy reference when he's drawing this kind of realistic stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine this being it. But then again, I mean, man. Wow. I mean, the amount of you know, because he clearly knows that there's zip and there's, you know, board that you can buy that can, you know, add texture and stuff like that. And he's just like, or whatever. And he's just doing every single mark there in the rug, it seems like. But perhaps he's not. Maybe that is zip tone. I don't know, because it looks like it's not. Is that zip or is that? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong now. But then again, it looks organic. It doesn't look as formulaic. I think he's doing the line for. I think he's doing all those lines for that rug there. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's great stuff here. Again, another, you know, heavy use of blacks and really just kind of taking it on there. Man. Looks like some bizarre, weird shit. Man. I will say the Japanese, they know how to make, they would know how to make some weird ass fucking shit. And the thing is, it's always interesting. It's never like, okay, this is too over the top. It's always rad as fuck, man. It really is. Man, I love Otomo. You know, unfortunately, his stuff gets overshadowed by Akira, which is absolutely brilliant. The manga is really great. The anime is unbelievable. But I don't know. I don't know why this stuff doesn't get printed here, but I really wish it did, because it's amazing. It really is great. I'm going to feel really stupid when they start printing these in the States. And I have all the Japanese ones. And I'm like, damn, I should have just waited out for the... But then again, I feel like they would be printed in English by now. Who knows? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. That was kind of me going through Otomo's Boogie, Woogie, Waltz. I don't know if there are other stories as well in there, because I don't know. I don't speak Japanese, but the artwork is just unbelievable. I mean, just an amazing artist and somebody that absolutely deserves a praise. He is not overrated by any stretch of the imagination. And if anybody says that Otomo is overrated, they are wrong. And tell them that I told you, because they are wrong. That dude is just... I have no words. I could say what I usually say: brilliant, awesome, amazing, wonderful. His work's beautiful. I don't know. I mean, it's just... There are not enough adjectives to express how much I admire that guy. My admiration. And, you know, how thankful that I am that somebody like that is in this industry, because it's a tough thing to do. It's very difficult to create comic books like this. And, you know, I just, I love the guy's work. I don't know what else I can say. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.